income statement. But today, we are now going at the next stage where we have adjustments. Adjustments. So we have here our trial balance, and as you look at our trial balance, we have some adjustments down here. And this question belongs to KK Traders for the year ended 31st December, 31st July 2017. But it has all these items in our trial balance, and we have adjustments. So the other time we talked about this question which never had adjustment. Today we want to see if it has adjustments, how do we treat adjustments. So you prepare a trial balance, and there are times when we have items in the trial balance and adjustments. It means that those adjustments are going to complement all what we have in the trial balance. Therefore, you are going to come across very many items such as owing, arrears, unpaid, outstanding, plus very many things. These things mean the same. Accruals. Even if you say accrued, they mean the same. It simply means that the services for those items were supplied, but the money for them have not been yet paid. And therefore, when we come across all these items in our adjustments here, it simply means that these items, we are going to add them to their respective items in the income statement. But at the same time, we shall take them in the balance sheet and record them as current liabilities. It means the services was provided, but the money was not paid. And that's why you have them there in adjustments. Therefore, when we come to this question, the way you see, when you get anything of this nature in adjustment, you have to look for it. Where is it in the trial balance? Then other things that you're going to come across, you're going to come across items like 1, prepaid. You're going to come across things like advance. They can say even prepayments. They can say things like unexpired. They can also say unused, plus very many items of that nature. Anything of that nature, these ones here, they also have their own category. And in this case, when we see anything of this nature in the adjustment, then and we are preparing an income statement, we shall minus them by saying less these items in their respective accounts in the income statement. But later, when we are preparing a balance sheet, we shall take these items, so long as they appear here in adjustment, in the balance sheet as current assets. They will be taken as a current asset. It simply means, for example, services that payment for these particular services was made before the service itself was got, and therefore that money is still yours. That's why we are minusing it from there, and we shall only record it when time has come for a specific period of time. Therefore, we are going to come across this also. Then another thing we are going to come across is this word called depreciation. It's also going to be very common in adjustment. And what is depreciation? Depreciation, we say it is a loss or decrease in value of fixed assets except land. Decrease or loss in value of fixed assets except land. So it is only land which does not lose value. Land appreciates in value, but it does not depreciate. And therefore, if a question comes and says depreciate all fixed assets, but they have not specified to leave out land. Be careful. You have to know that land does not lose value, and therefore in this case, we shall not depreciate that land. And that's why we shall leave it out. Therefore, land does not lose value. So we are saying that depreciation is the loss in value of fixed assets except land. Therefore, let us go back to our question. Let's go back to our question and prepare the income statement. Later, we are going to prepare a balance sheet. We have this question of income statement of a trial balance. We are going to prepare an income statement. And you can see that in this question, we have purchases, they are on the debit side, sales, they are on the credit side. Drawings, they are here, capital is on this side. Debtors, they are on this debtor, on the debit side, creditors, they are on the credit side. We have stock, 3,500,000, motor van on the debit side, equipment, carried inwards, returns. So returns are two types. You have returns inwards and returns outwards. So the returns you see on the debit side are returns inwards. The ones you see on the credit side are returns outwards. We have rent and rents, carried outwards, telephone expenses, office expenses, salaries and wages, insurance, postage, motor expenses, and lastly, sundry expenses. These other expenses that are very small, but we have added all of them together to get all these expenses. And when we add our trial balance, we are getting both sides 29,657,000. And this, because this is a trial balance, it must agree both sides. If it does not agree, then the income statement will be prepared, but the balance sheet will not cover. And that's why we have this. We also having seen an adjustments, closing stock, that is stock at the end of the year, 3,235,000. Prepaid rent or rent prepaid, 45,000. Postage in arrears, 20,000. Insurance owing, 45,000. And they are telling us depreciate motor van by 5% per annum. 5% per annum. All these are the ones we have, and this one is what we are talking about as adjustments. They are part of this thing, but possibly by the time of preparing this, they have not been recorded, and that's why they are here. Then they are asking us to prepare an income statement, and then later prepare a balance sheet. But when we prepare a balance sheet, it must agree. A balance sheet. What is a balance sheet? We say that a balance sheet is a financial statement showing the financial stand of a business or an individual at a given period of time. Whereas we prepare income statement for the whole 12 months, that is the fiscal year, a balance sheet is prepared for only one date, and that's why we say as the at. Whereas the income statement we always say for the year ended or for the year ending, like that. So it is for 12 month financial year, whereas a balance sheet is for only one date. That's why we say as at. Therefore, from here, let us go and see how we prepare an income statement. Thank you very much. Like I said, we are going to prepare an income statement. So when we prepare an income statement, like we said, an income statement, the heading is going to be like that. No others can write it in 2 lines. But if you are writing it like that, then it has to show who owns the business. It is KK Traders. What are you preparing? Income statement. For which period? For the year ended or for the year ending this. And that's why we shall have them like that. So because we have adjustments, we are going to have the 3 columns. And we see how they come up. Others may say to have 2 columns. But I'm showing you 3 columns here for you to understand how does those people who have 2 columns, how do they come to get those figures. Because at the end of the day, sometimes they show them in adjustment. So they show additional notes here of how it has been coming up. But for me, I'm going to prepare them and show them in this 3rd column. But at the end of the day, it must come up. So So let us start. So we have our statement there, and therefore we are going to begin with the incomes. The trial balance is there. So we begin with the income, and when we begin with the incomes, we shall start with sales. Sales. These are goods sold by the business. In the question, we see them on the credit side was 10,500,000, like that. But at the end state, we have returns, and you can see the returns here. They are here. This one's here. These are returns. The returns on the debit side, we say are returns inwards. The ones we have on the credit side are returns outwards. And then returns inwards come up as a result of customers returning goods that we had sold to them. In this case, they are going to reduce on our sales. And when they reduce on our sales, they now will increase on our stock. And that's why we are going to minus them there. We saw when customer returned the goods. So we are going to say less returns inwards. Returns inwards. These are also called sales returns. And in this case, they are 235,000. So we shall draw here that line. And remember, these are sales minus, because less is a negative. So we shall minus 0, 0, 0. This is 5. Here we have 9 minus 3. We shall get 6. Here we shall get 4 minus 2. We are getting here 2. And this is 10 million. So what do we get here? This one we call as net sales. Therefore, the business sold the goods was 10,265,000. Not more than that, because others were returned. From there, we shall come and say less. Allow me to interchange this. Less cost of sales. Less cost of sales. Less cost of sales. Now, cost of sales, one shall begin with opening stock. Opening stock. These are the goods that you start with in the year when you are trying to start trading. The previous question we had never had opening stock. We had only purchases, which meant that the business was new. But this one here, stock is there as opening, meaning the business has always been in existence. That's why we have opening stock. Now, and the opening stock, we have it here. When you look in this question, we have it there. 3 million, shall I put it in the second column? 3,500,000, like that. Here we shall come and say add purchases. Purchases. What are purchases? These are goods bought by the business for sale to make a profit. And when you buy them, you add them on what you have in the stock already. But in this case, when you look at this, we also have returns outwards. We have returns outwards. At the same time, we also have carriage inwards. Those two figures are going to affect our purchases. And in this case, we shall put the purchases in this first column and say 5,400,000 here. After we have got that, we shall now add on carriage inwards first. Carriage inwards, shall add it on the purchases. And in this case, we have 340. Such that here we can get 5,740,000. This still represents purchases. They are still purchases. But after getting purchases of 5,740,000, there are some goods that were returned, and these are the ones we call returns outwards. So we shall come and say less returns outwards. Returns outwards. These are also purchases returns. So you buy goods in your business, but as you reach with them in the business, you find that they have some problems. They are damaged in trust, they are expired, they are not the ones you wanted, plus other things. You return them to the supplier. And that's why we are moving them by saying less than 170. And then we rule that part. So we are saying this total, which represents still, these are still purchases, if you wish, like that, minus returns outwards. So the figure we are going to get, you can still write it here. And when you write it in this case, it is going to be 0, 0, because we are minusing. This is 0. This is 14, because we are getting 1 from here to come here. 14 minus 7. This is 7. Here you remain with 6 minus this, you get 5. Here it is also 5 million. So we are getting 5,570,000. This figure therefore represents net purchases. Now, if you wish, you can put it down here and you put it there the word statement, net purchases. But if you put them directly in this line, there is no need. But remember here the question is saying opening stock or add. So these are our purchases. Where we have opening stock or add these purchases which we have got here. So we shall come also and rule these parts and we add. So we are adding our stock plus our purchases, all the net purchases. And when we add it like that, this one is going to be 70 like that. This is 0 like that. This one comes to 9 million. So we are getting 9,070,000. Therefore, this figure here is what we call as I can use a different marker for you to know, to see. This figure here is now what we are calling a cost of goods available for sale. Cost of goods available like that. Write it in full. Available for sale. This figure here represents cost of goods available for sale. Now, when you go back at your mathematics, what you are calling as cost of goods available for sale, the mathematics you did in P7 or at the O level senior 1, sorry, at O level senior 1, senior 2, it is like the cost price. And this one here is our selling price. Therefore, though we have these goods that we are going to sell, when the year ends, we sell and we get this money. But there are those goods out of this that we have not sold, and that's what we call closing stock. So we want to see which of those goods that we were not able to sell. And therefore we shall come and say less closing stock. Those are the goods that were not sold. And when you look at this case, our closing stock is here specified 3,230,000. So we are going to minus here 3,230,000. Like that. Then rule this part. So when we rule that part, what we are aiming at getting is what we are going to call as the cost of sales. Cost of sales is what we are looking at. What did we sell? And what we got from there, yeah, that amount of money. So we minus this figure, So this is our cost, goods available for sale, minus closing stock. We need to get our cost of sale, which we are going to put in the last column. So when we minus, we shall get here 0, 0, 0. So this is also 0, and here we have 7, which is 4. Here we borrow 1, here comes 10. This one comes back to 8. Here we make with the 8 minus 3, we are getting 5 million. Just like that. So we have our figures at 5,840,000 as our cost of sales. We now come and underline the part, just like that. Now, when you look in this question, it is saying here, net sales minus cost of sales. Net sales minus cost of sales. Our net sales are here. Our cost of sales are down there. You can see that our sales are here, our cost of sales are down there. So what are we going to get is what we are looking at here, and what are those figures. So we minus 10 million minus this. So when we minus, what we are going to get is what we call as gross profit. So let us minus and see. So when we minus here, we are going to get 0, 0, and 0. Here this is 5 minus 0, we get 5. Here 6 minus 4, we get 2. Here is 2, so we shall borrow 1 from here, comes 12 minus 8, we shall get here 4. Here we are remaining with 9. 9 minus 5, we get 4 million. So we are getting 4 million as our gross profit. That is our gross profit. So this figure here represents our gross profit. That's what we mean by gross profit. So how have we got this figure? We have got from this formula here, which says net sales, which are this one here, minus, what is negative, minus cost of sales. And we are seeing that our cost of sales is 5,840,000. From there we continue, and you look into the question, do we see any income which we have to add on the gross profit? If the incomes are there, the miscellaneous incomes that you get in the trial balance, then we have to add them to the gross profit before we continue. And what are those incomes we are going to add here that you must look for in the trial balance? 1, discount received, commission received, rent received or rent refund, plus other things, plus other things that show us their income. And those ones are going to be on the correct side of the trial balance. If they are not there, then we will not be having. But still, assuming we had things like provision for back dates in this question, being on the debit side, and in the adjustment we also had here, they told us to add just provision for bad debts. Therefore, if you see a reduction in the provision for bad debts, what you get in the trial balance is smaller than what you have in the trial balance. The difference is an income. Therefore, you have to look at such things before you continue. But in this case, we only have these items, and therefore there are no incomes that we are going to add on to our gross profit. Therefore, we shall continue. And when we continue, we shall now say less operating expenses. Write it in full. Expenses. Less operating expenses. These are the expenses that the business incurs during its course of operation. This profit you have got is not the profit made by the business, but you still have some expenses that you are going to remove from that profit and see whether you have made a profit or you have made a net loss. Both of them are available. You can get them. And when you are doing business, when you get a loss, this is a normal thing. We just have to see how did you make that and what should we do to correct that. So we come to the question from here and see where are those expenses The first expense we have here is the rent and rents. But we can see in the adjustment that we have there rent prepaid. Therefore, we shall write here rent and rents as our students put much emphasis to see that we get the blackboard properly. Personally, we are with than being there. So we have our rent and rents 500 and the 40,000. Because it has adjustment, we shall write it here 543,000. It has adjustment. We say when it has prepaid, we shall say less. It means that you are renting somebody's house, let's say, but you paid more money for the current month than what is required. You will pay for the next month. You have to move it from there, and therefore we shall say less prepaid rent. And this one here of 45,000. So we can move here 45,000. And when we figure we get, we are going to put it in this column. Now this column, the first column is where we make our adjustments before we take the final figure in the column that we need to make our figures. So we have here 0, 0, 0, because we are minusing here. So we have 13 minus 5. We shall get, I think, 8. And here we made 3. We put here 13 minus 4. We shall get 9. And here we shall get 400. So those represents the rent and the rents, which is that amount of figure. So we go to the next. We have carried outwards. Carried outwards. Carried outwards. Carried outwards. Other people may say that since we put carried inwards on purchases, why don't we put carried outwards on sales? No, carried outwards is an expense. How does it come? Look, for example, assuming you have a shop and a customer comes and buys, let's say you are selling hardware, and the customer comes and buys, let's say, 100 bags of cement. And when he buys those 100 bags of cement, you, the owner of the shop, you tell some helpers there to load these goods, that's the bags of cement, on the vehicle or the truck of the customer. And then you get money from the business and you pay those helpers. You have not made money, but you have lost money. You have lost money. Because you have loaded for the customer by paying him this helper. Because it is money being given to those helpers, you are not gaining, but you are losing. That's why we are not putting it here. It becomes part of the operating expense. And businesses do it in the good faith for good customer care. Then we continue. Carry outwards. We can see 168. 168 will be put there. 168 will be put there. We have telephone expenses. You put here telephone expenses. Telephone expenses. Do we have any telephone expense here? No. 1,810,000. We have salaries and wages. Salaries and wages. We don't have it in adjustment, so it will be direct. Salaries and wages, we have 1,460,000. I missed out office expenses here. Office expenses, 920. like that, 920. Insurance, and you write here insurance. But when you look at insurance, we have it here in adjustment. We have here insurance in adjustment of 45,000. So this insurance will be written in the first column, 690 here. So that we come and say, let, because it is owing, we shall say add. Owing. Owing means you have not yet paid it, and therefore you have to pay. So let us look owing. Earlier, like I said, the services for them were provided, but payment was not made. And therefore, when you are preparing income statement, you have to add them there. And that's why we are putting it there. We put it there as well as owing of 45,000 here, like that. You underline here, and when you underline, you are adding. So we shall put it here 000 5, because we are adding. This is 13, right? 3 and 1 here, 735,000. Yes, after here, we have already written insurance, and that's how we are going to say if you have owing, we shall add it there. From there, we go to postage. Postage, our postage here, we are saying it is 190, and it also has arrears. So we shall have here 190 for postage and add arrears. Arrears simply means that they were not added there. So we put it there, 20,000. We are adding it. So we shall get, when we add here, we shall get 200, this plus this, 210. So members, we continue to this side, because space is not on our side. So when we come here, we're still continuing. We have motor expenses, which are create space still, like this, possibly. And remember, when we come here, don't mind, don't add it, again, don't put here the heading. The heading is not required because it is already there. So we are going to motor expenses. Motor expenses. In this case, we shall write them here. One motor expenses, sorry, they are 200,000. 200,000. You write it here, 200,000. We have sundry expenses. 707,000 in that column. So the expenses as per the trial balance are finished. We now go, do you see anything that must be put here? And in that case, we have the total to depreciate motor van. So we shall put here depreciation and underline. They told us to put to depreciate motor van. And what is depreciation? We said depreciation is the loss or decrease in value of fixed assets except the land. Land does not lose value. But other fixed assets like buildings, premises, equipment, motor vehicles, or motor van, furniture, all those ones, computers, they lose value. And therefore we are going to depreciate them. Plants and machinery, but land does not depreciate in terms of value. It just appreciates. That's why if this land is yours and you bought it 10 years ago at 20 million, today when you are selling it, it can be even 60, 50, but anything above 20 million. It means that it has gained value. So land does not lose value, but it gains value. So depreciation here, they told us to depreciate motor van by 5%. You come and just say 5 times the value of motor van, which is 80,200,000 divided by that. That's 5%. So this will go with that. So we have 5 times 8, 2, like that, those 3 zeros, 85,000. And here, when you multiply this times this and this is 40. But this and this is 10. And we write 1. 1 goes there on 40, it becomes 410,000. That is the value of our depreciation. In this column, 410. So you rule here and put here total operating expenses. You write expenses in full, such that doesn't look as short. So after that, we are now going to add the totals of operating expense. And from our class, we need to add the totals and be able to get. Let us use a calculator to see that we add these totals. So we are adding these totals in the second column only and put them in the third column to get the figure. And we have 498, we are adding together, plus 168, plus 1,810,000, plus 1,460,000, plus 920,000, plus 735,000, plus 210,000, plus 200,000, plus 707,000, plus 410,000. And here we are getting a total of 7,118,000, which goes in the third column directly. And when it goes direct column, it means therefore in the third column we have there two figures. Immediately we underline here, it means that these figures are now irrelevant. We have already included this one here, we have it underlined. So we have, our question is saying gross profit minus operating expenses. That's why we see here gross profit less operating expenses. And you can see that we have gross profit in this column and we have down this figure in this column down, which is operating expenses, which we have here. So we are getting this one here minus this. But you can see that from what we have, our incomes are 4 million, expenses are 7 million. It means that our expenses are bigger than income, and therefore we are going to get a loss. So when we minus this from this, we are going to get a negative. So we want to minus and see, minus that figure. Minus that figure. So we are having a figure of 425 minus 7,118,000. We are getting 2,693,000. This figure here is a net loss. Is a net loss. It's not a profit. Simply because we consider that our incomes are smaller than our expenses, and therefore we are getting a net loss. You can put it in bracket if you wish, but still we have saying it's a net loss. Has no effect. Has no effect. So because we have expenses being bigger than income, shall get a net loss. But assuming income will be bigger than our expenses, we will get this one to be a positive, which would have been a net profit. Therefore, income statement ends there. But immediately you prepare income statement and you get a net loss, or you get a net profit. Next step is preparation of a balance sheet. And therefore, let us go and prepare now a balance sheet from here.